Is there any public comment? Not seeing any. I have a comment that I just wanted to make. As has been our practice lately, we like to acknowledge when staff members that used to work at Erving Elementary School have passed away, and so we have Michael DeBerry has passed away, and he was a educator here several years ago, and it sounds from what I've read about him that it was kind of a chance encounter that he came to Erving, and we all are better placed for it. He certainly made this school a wonderful place to be, and I think that everybody who spoke about him had great things to say about him joining Erving Elementary School. So Emily Samuels, a former teacher, wrote a lovely memorial to him in the newspaper as well, and talked about her time with him. So he sounded like a lovely person and a wonderful educator. So we send our condolences to his family on his passing. And we're going to move on now to our approval of minutes. We have several minutes. You'll notice some of them are old. We've been trying very hard to catch up and make sure we have complete collection of minutes. So we have minutes from old minutes from June 26th, August 7th, 2024, August 8th, 2024, and then our last meeting, which was December 16th, 2025. So we need a motion in a second.
I move we accept the minutes.
Are you looking to do individually
All of
or
them.
all of them together? Does anybody have any objections to that?
I'll second that.
Okay. So we have all of them that we're taking together. Are we ready to vote? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. All right. Moving on. We have some, I believe, Caitlin, do we have gifts and grants?
Yes, you have the title grants. So Title I, $34,504. Title
UA, $2,625.
There it is. Okay.
And Title IV, $10,000.
And we also have warrants. It's our agenda looks a little different today, so that it's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, so we will need to accept these grants, as Caitlin mentioned, the Title I, the Title IIA, and the Title IV.
I move to accept Title I, 2A, and 4 grants for $34,504, $2,625, and $10,000 respectively.
Any further discussion about that?
I'd second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Everybody good? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Let's go back now and deal with our warrants.
Okay, I never got like a updated agenda with the links, so
Yeah, we'll share right now.
Caitlin, if you could share that to everybody, nobody here on the board got an updated agenda.
I also do.
It was like I said, something.
Is the one on the town website updated enough? Accurate?
No, so that's the one, that's the PDF, and there are just a few, Principal Gannon's report is linked there, but that's the only one. Then the policies are linked in the minutes, but
I
that's.
can't quite hear you. I think I know
it's
what
not.
you said.
Not everything is linked
The short
in
answer
that,
is it's
in
not.
that agenda, yeah.
Yeah. So we have some warrants that we need to approve. We have payroll warrant 113, 114, and 115. We could take them individually or together.
I move we take them.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I move that we accept warrants 113, 114, and 115 together as a bunch.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have food service warrants 1022 and 1026. We'll need a motion in a second.
I move we accept food service warrants 1022 and 1026.
Seconded?
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Elementary, we have warrants 1023, 1024, 1025.
I move we accept elementary warrants 1023, 1024, and 1025 as a group.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And our secondary, 1109, 1110, and 1111.
I move we accept secondary warrants 1109, 1110, and 1111 as a group.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you. Caitlin, I'm only seeing your report. Are you able to send us the entire agenda?
Yeah, I can find it.
If that's possible, that would be great. Okay, so, and no gifts, correct?
No gifts.
Okay. Good on that. All right, so report of the Gil Montague representative. We do not have a representative at this time. And then we're moving on to the report of the Franklin County technical representative.
Hello.
Hi.
Jackie Boyden, I'm the rep for Erving for the Franklin County Technical School. So, at our last meeting, which was January 14th, we met and the following was discussed and voted on. We accepted donations from the public for various items. We reviewed and accepted changes to a job description for the director of the building and grounds. The current director is retiring and the job will be advertised soon. We reviewed the draft fiscal 2027 pro forma budget. There won't be any changes to the assessment communities at this point in time. Most of the financial numbers from the state will be available the last week in January, and the school committee will continue to discuss the budget at the February meeting, and then we'll have our public hearing vote at the March meeting. The MSBA project, as I hope that some of you are aware, we are moving forward with the proposal of a new tech school on the grounds. We've been working on it for about a year now. They're still working on the final numbers and expect them to be available to submit to the MSBA by February 26th. April 29th is the deadline for approval or disapproval by the MSBA. There will be 2 public events open to the public at Greenfield Community College, the community room. The next one is February 10th at 6 p.m. That's on a Tuesday. The public and anyone interested is welcome to attend. There'll be a slideshow on the proposed, right now it's still in the preliminary stages, but the proposed location and the design that the school committee selected, as well as any questions that might be asked at that meeting. The vote will be a district-wide vote on a single day. The Franklin County Tech School District will pay for that election and set the hours. So more information will be forthcoming. We believe it'll be somewhere around September, but I don't have a firm date yet. Applications closed on January 14th for the incoming 9th and 10th graders, and the lottery will be held sometime in February. Weren't given a date. Now there has been some, we now have to participate in a lottery. The state changed the rules, but for Franklin County Tech School, our quotas for our community still remain in place. So there'll be a lottery, but after the community's quotas are met on the number of students that are allowed in the very beginning, and then the next thing will be the lottery. This is our first year, so we're working it out. The second semester has started, and juniors are now allowed to go out and co-op, so they're very excited to actually be working. 1 week of work and 1 week of academics. They didn't give us any numbers, but they were very excited. We are starting a new program which is called Design and Visual Programming. It takes the place of web design, which has become obsolete. And so the instructor visited Putnam Vocational, which has this program, and the visit went really well, and they learned a lot. And also, the Franklin County Tech School received a $35,000 grant towards the implementation of this vocational program. Career Awareness Day was held, and Greylock Federal Credit Union came in and discussed budgeting with the students. It was an eye-opener for some of the students. They learned a lot. The aviation mechanic program update, the FAA came in to view our space and our program materials, and we received our approval to run the program, which is a huge first time out. It was very exciting. And that's about it, unless you have any questions for me.
I have a lottery question.
Okay, yep.
Basic lottery question, and I know you're still working out the kinks to it. My more inquisitive thought is, are you lotterying it to the whole group and then breaking it down by, like, once Erving fills their quota, you just don't pick anybody in that pool anymore, or are you picking like students from each town until you get to each town's quota?
Yeah, so the way that I understand it is the lottery doesn't really change the way that we do things at Franklin Tech at first look, right?
Yeah.
So if Erving is allowed to have 13 students, and they have 13 applications, all those students would get in, right? Where the lottery really comes into play is in the bigger communities like Orange and Montague and Greenfield, which have a huge amount of students, and they don't often meet their quotas. And then the other students from the other communities would often backfill into that. Now that's where the lottery will come into play.
Thank you.
So it's our first year, but that's how we're working on it.
Thank you.
Did they give any indication how many seats they were opening?
I want to say that I want to say 168, but I think that's low. I don't have. It's right around. It's up there. We have a little under 600 students currently at the tech school. I don't have the exact numbers, and the new school will be built to accommodate that number. We're not making it bigger. We're just basically more space for our students who are now crammed everywhere. So yeah, I can at next month. I'll try and get those numbers for you.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Jackie Boyden. Yes.
All right. So, Collaborative for Educational Services report. Is there a report to give?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a fun 5.5-hour long meeting last Wednesday for the Collaborative of Education Services. It was a great time. We had 3 interviews of our 3 final candidates for the Executive Director of CES. We got to interview them as an entire board, as well as there was a lot of staff members there viewing. After 3 interviews and a lot of deliberation, at about 10:50, we finally all voted in Portia Bonner as the new CES Executive Director, who is currently the standing superintendent at the Northampton School District. Yeah,
Which school district did she come from?
Northampton. She's
Oh, okay.
she's fairly local-ish, and she's excited to get started. And yeah, that is my report today for them.
Sounds like it was a fun meeting.
It was a lot of, and then we had a lot of Robert's Rules of Orders going back around because we had all 3 candidates nominated at one point, and it was an intense voting session and deliberation, and we got to vote multiple times to figure out who was going to be the new ED.
Which it sounds like, though, that all 3 were very strong candidates. If there
Absolutely.
was so much discussion, so that's a good
Yes,
thing. That
yes. It
were
was
able to,
It was. We had 18 that they went into the initial review policy review group, and they brought only 3 to the full board. Thankfully, because that would have been a lot longer had there been any more than 3. Yeah, a lot of back and forth, a lot of around the table. It was a good time.
Oh, good. All right. Well, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Regionalization update. I do not have any sort of regionalization update unless anybody else does. We are still working through our committees and that sort of thing. So our committee single. So
Are you referring to the 6th town?
Yeah.
Or are we referring to our new possible?
I was kind of
starting
referring to both, but you're right. We should separate them out.
Um,
If you have let's go back then.
I did not attend the meeting on Thursday as I had conflicting kids' schedules, but I get all the emails regularly. They are pushing for votes to start this spring. They're really sending out a lot of information. They're in their kind of final stretch of make sure everybody gets all the information out there. A lot of letters are being written and, push. But I was not in the meeting, but I've seen all the letters that are going out and trying to get as many votes in their favor.
Do we have dates for the election or no?
They're just doing it during all the town elections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
Makes
way to do
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Do you want to recognize from the floor?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add, when I was the Gil Montague rep and I was getting the information, Erving won't have a vote. They'll just are going to treat us like tuition.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens
Yes.
with the vote. Because I
Yes.
believe that all 6 towns have to buy in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
They do ask my opinion when I am in the meeting, so they do chat with me and they are engaged with me as a non-voting member of their group, so
That's good.
which I appreciate.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you for distinguishing the two because you're right, they are different. All right, so we have capital planning committee update. Dan was not able to go to that meeting. Beth, do you have any information? Beth, do you have any information on the capital planning committee meeting at all?
Did not hold the meeting
Oh.
because we did not have a quorum.
Okay.
We will reconvene and hold the meeting at a future date.
Okay.
I think we are working on identifying that.
Okay. All right. So that's postponed to a later date. Wonderful. The superintendent isn't here, although she did submit her report, so you can read that. We won't reread it here. So we're going to move on. Unless there are questions about the superintendent's report, we can bring back to her. Okay. So I'm just going to keep moving. Director of Finance and Operations report.
Yes, so I only have 2 things on my report. The first is the elementary and secondary budgets. There's an expenditure report from the system that is in your packet. Also, I linked to the spreadsheet I make with manual encumbrances.
There is some funds that we're going to move when the expenditures occur, and all the manually encumbered Union 28 expenses. But overall, there have not been any unanticipated expenses this year, and we are on track. The second thing is the fiscal year 2027 budget. I have the one linked that I submitted to the town back on January 2nd. And then I have another one that I've not linked yet because it's not coming up for me and it was very recently completed. If you were to look at the budget and have the budget for next year resemble what the staffing this year is requiring, which is a reduction of one unfilled paraprofessional position. I have the numbers around that. I don't have the full budget linked right now.
Okay, so in our agenda, it does say discussion and possible vote on the preliminary budget. Because we don't have the actual budget in front of us with the numbers the way, so that we can look at them, I'm going to suggest that we postpone this vote and have a meeting before our February 9th joint meeting with the FinCom and Select Board, and at that point, vote it, since we don't have it accurately in front of us.
What's the date of that meeting?
February 9th.
Okay.
So we would just meet like a half an hour before, or some amount of time before that meeting, and go over this budget. At that point, we'll have had it. Caitlin, you'll send it out to us ahead of time, so we'll have it so that we can read it and digest it and ask any questions we have.
Motion for that?
So we will. We can take a motion, yes, and a second to make that change.
Can we move to postpone the voting on the elementary and secondary budget for fiscal year 2027 until February 9th and meet prior to the meeting?
Yeah, so we should really just figure out what time we want to meet. Just do people feel comfortable with a half an hour? So we'd meet at 6:30.
I think I would, just because we've discussed it so at length already. If we
Okay.
did a half-hour meeting, but please feel
No,
free
that would be plenty.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll have a meeting ahead of time. The only thing on the agenda will be the budget at that February 9th meeting. So
So Kelly made the motion, there's no second.
no, we haven't seconded yet. That's what I was just about to say. So we'll need a second on that. Just now that we're clear on what we're motioning.
I'll second that.
Okay. And so, any other discussions about that? So once Caitlin sends it out, be sure to ask any questions you need to ask so that we, are ready to, or prepared to vote on the 9th. Okay? All right, so we have a motion and a second. No other discussion. All in favor? Aye. Great.
I might have trouble getting to that meeting.
Oh, well then you should say something.
No, but we'll have a quorum, so I think.
Okay.
I'm assuming there'll be a quorum,
All right.
and
We'll
I'm
all
not
just
sure.
make sure we meet when we get there. Okay. So, are there any questions for Caitlin about the current budget, or the other budget? Just knowing that it's not complete yet.
I have no questions tonight.
Okay. All right. So we are going to move on to our principal's report.
Okay, thank you. So, our January meeting, we are very excited. Currently, we are at 109 students. That is going to change at the end of this week, but I like to be as accurate as possible. We have a family, so we have an additional 3 more students that will be starting with us, plus another family that potentially will be joining us. So we're very excited to have some new students joining our building. But we have currently 109 students, up from our last visit of 108, and that will again continue to rise. You'll notice the pictures here are kindergarten. Got the opportunity to meet with the Erving Department of Works as they shared their newly christened snowplow for winter. We had a wonderful drawing by Paxton. We also had a voted on by all kindergartners, Push It by Salt and Snowy, drawing for our new name for the town's plow. The kids absolutely loved meeting all of the people and getting to touch the truck. It's a wildly happy day. It was quite the recess.
Hopefully they washed their hands afterwards.
They loved the truck and the people who got to drive the truck. So,
If I could just add
yes.
a personal note, there is at least one EES alumni in that picture, and they remembered seeing the trucks and watching them go by and everything, and now they're on the team. So, EES has an alumni on the committee. On
Three piece in that picture?
I don't know.
There would be 2 of them.
I do not know Cody Pease, but if that's the case, then yes, then we would have 2. There are 2. He may not be in the picture, but there are at least 2 EES alum on the highway department. So that's kind of neat that they got to.
We were
come back.
very excited, and the kindergarten were thrilled. Family and community engagement. We had our January Technology Safety Night on the 6th. I'm going to do a little mini presentation about it this evening for all of those watching at home, and to give you all an update on that in a few moments. February 3rd, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks, is our Family Math Curriculum Night. It's an opportunity for all of our families to come with their children and to get an opportunity to learn fun math games and math activities that they can do to help their learner to improve their math and to feel more confident as a math learner. This is a passion of mine, so I'm excited to be able to be presenting as well. I'm going to do a thing on coordinate plane battleship. So if you like a good battleship game, I've got a coordinate plane battleship game I think you're going to enjoy. So that'll be fun. February 13th, our report cards go home. That is union-wide. And I would like to remind everyone that you get your free tickets early, because the reintroduction of the school play is in fact March 13th. It is the Toy Story, the Great Cran, and Slinky Dog Rescue. Practices are well underway. All the parts or most of the parts have been given out. And again, the tickets are free. So we're hoping to get a big turnout of people to come that evening. We're very excited about that. Our next school council meeting is February 2nd. We are moving our time from 3 to 4 to 4 to 5 because we are accommodating a very dedicated and influential member of our team who has a lot of good ideas, and his schedule has changed, and so we would like to make sure he's available to be a part of this. And I don't want to have to replace him. I like his contributions. So the part that I would like to talk about today is our Half the Story curriculum, and we're going to focus a little bit on defining digital well-being, hence this tech timeout. So if you and a part of the community were able to come to January, you heard the tech timeout presentation. All of these collaborations with the library are done based off of this hashtag Half the Story, which is a curriculum that was developed for children in grades 6 through 12. And we are using it actually grades 5 and 6. And so I'm really excited about that. But I want to share a little bit about with all of you here and people at home, hoping to gather a few more people before our March one. So I'm going to share that piece. The first part is, and they're very brief, quick videos, so
So, what is digital well-being? In this section, we're going to explore Half the Story's definition of digital wellness and learn how we can support our students in navigating the digital landscape while prioritizing their emotional health. So, let's dive right in. At Half the Story, we define digital well-being as the relationship between your digital habits and your emotional health. It's about developing an awareness of how you interact with technology and how that impacts both your usage and your overall well-being. As educators, especially if you don't consider yourself a tech or wellness expert, teaching digital wellness all comes down to 2 simple questions. How do your digital habits make you feel? And if you want to feel differently, what can you change? Now, let's explore why digital well-being is so crucial, especially when it comes to our teenagers. Their reality is really hard. Most programs focus only on digital literacy skills, but Social Media U was created to address a very significant gap, helping teens understand how technology design and digital habits impact their emotional well-being. Social media and tech platforms aren't just another context for social dynamics. Their design features transform the landscape of adolescence experiences. Think about it. A private text between a friend can become immediately public and widespread with just a simple screenshot.
Yeah.
An insensitive meme you posted impulsively to your Instagram can go viral in your school community in 5 minutes and have major repercussions. Red receipts and notifications let you know immediately that someone saw or interacted with your communication. And it can create an intense pressure to respond immediately. Otherwise, you worry you will make people mad and lose friends. A song you write and post on TikTok can get 1 million views overnight. You can also easily find graphic content that is sexual, political, or violent with minimal effort, or by accident, that is way too intense but is now seared to your brain. This is a massive amount of pressure for our teens to be under. Tech has completely changed the game when it comes to communication and relationships, and instead of helping them, a lot of adults just dismiss their feelings or shame them for how often they're on their phones. 2 great questions to ask when discussing digital well-being with your teens are, what do adults get wrong about teens and tech? And what does support look like to you in the digital world?
Okay, so there's series that include, like this one, Pieces for Adults and Parents. But there's also pieces for our kids. So there's actually a workbook that the kids got access to. This program began today with our 6th grade. It begins next week with our 5th graders. We based our January session on this tech timeout. I personally have gone social media free for January, and when I tell you it is stunningly hard for someone who thought she didn't really actually spend any time at all on social media, I am pretty impressed. So this is the type of video that might be shown to the kids.
Have you ever tried to say no to something you really, really wanted? It's tough, right? Self-control, willpower, and restraint are challenges everyone faces. Whether it's resisting that last scoop of ice cream or trying to stop watching videos when we know we should be doing homework. Temptation comes in all forms, like ice cream. But here's a fact. Your brain is actually wired to make you crave these things. When you see a treat you love, your brain's reward system kicks in, making your heart race, your mouth water, and even your stomach growl. When you're online, things like fast-paced games, social media likes, and chats with friends light up your brain's reward system too. So what happens? Your brain releases dopamine, which sends a message for you to feel great. So naturally, you seek out that feeling again and again, whether it's by eating more ice cream, scoring a goal, or acing a test. Dopamine can feel good in the moment, but too much can be harmful, especially when it comes to tech. Have you ever found yourself doom scrolling or binge watching episode after episode without a second thought? Too much screen time can lead to too much dopamine being released, which can cause lack of concentration, sleepless nights, and even depression. Back in the day, TV shows stopped airing at night, and websites had an end. No infinite scroll like nowadays. But then in 2015, YouTube introduced autoplay, where one video rolls right into the next, creating a never-ending stream or loop of content. Big tech started removing what we call stopping cues, those signals that tell you it's time for a break or a tech timeout. Now, with endless scrolling and streaming, media feels never-ending. While it's super convenient, it also makes it way harder for us to stop and disconnect, pulling us into rabbit holes of way too much screen time. We all need those missing stopping cues to signal us to let us know we're finished, and it's time for a tech timeout.
So this goes on. There's a whole series of lessons that kids will engage with. The January session was focused on tech timeout and the reintroduction of boredom. And we talked about the importance role that boredom plays. We call it white space. And the research shows that children who have opportunities of boredom and have access to opportunities to build white space also have higher levels of creativity and have more creative thinking patterns and get more opportunities to work on problem solving than their peers. And so we really press this idea that we want to reintroduce boredom, and we're going to reclaim the idea that boredom is bad, and we're going to recall it blissful boredom. And so we're going to be working with our kids about that. We actually talked with parents who came about creating these boredom coupons, blissful boredom coupons. And we did provide copies of an actual blissful boredom coupon board that they could do at home. So these are the things I wanted to share about the program with all of you that we are doing and with all the people who are watching this evening. And that is the end of my presentation for the night. So I will open up to questions if there are any.
Great.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll see a great deal of people on our Tuesday, March 3rd session at the library.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about any of that? All right. So, report from the Erving Educational Association. I do not have a report. Beth, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. Report from the Partners in Education at Erving Pie. We did get a an email. Did everybody get it? Okay, so let me just read it through. Kelly, it looked like you were going to say something. Did you?
I was just gonna mention that we did movie night the other day.
Yep.
And raised some money for that. There was pizza and plenty of snacks and lots of popcorn. We did Toy Story as the movie. I would say 50% of the children watched 20% of the movie. And then they decided tag was fun. So it turned into a 7 p.m. tag game. But the movie was still going. A couple of kids sat and watched a lot of the movie. And then we winded down with everybody helping and picking up. And all the kids helped set the tables up and remind us how the pattern of the tables belong. And there is a fundraiser going on for Hillside Pizza. I think Caitlin probably has that in there.
Yep.
And everything will be in before Super Bowl, so I think everybody should get some Hillside delicious pizza or cookie dough and have it for their Super Bowl party.
Yeah, just on that, the order forms are due back on January 28th. And so if you have any questions, they can certainly contact Pi and get more information. And I know I've been seeing about the annual calendar raffle on Facebook, so winners are being pulled for that. You had a successful bingo night, which sounds super fun. So, and then upcoming is just this senior scholarship. That's a lovely thing that is done every year for graduating senior. As long as they attended Erving Elementary School, they can apply for that scholarship. And the next meeting is on Monday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. via a Google Meet. So you don't even have to leave your home. That's very convenient. All right. All right, so Budget and Personnel Committee report. Do we have a report from Budget and Personnel? I don't believe they've met. Joint Supervisory Committee did meet. Either Kelly or Mark, were you able to go to that one? Or
Wasn't able to go
you
to
were,
it.
Okay. I knew you were saying you might not, or you might come
No,
late.
I didn't make.
Okay. Kelly, did you? There was.
I feel like there wasn't much. They were talking about tours and how I'm horrible with names.
Lindsay Rodriguez.
Yes, was doing tours and
Yep.
going to all the schools and special education stuff, some title grant stuff.
So we did increase our substitute daily rate for all of our Union 28 schools. So teachers will now get paid $125 per day, and paras will get paid $105 starting February 1st, right? Caitlin, wasn't the decision to start February 1st?
I'd have to confirm that date.
But I'm pretty sure that was the case. We did talk about the Hampshire Trust. That's where some of the towns get their insurance from. Obviously, there's been huge increases in that, so there is some budgetary impact for some of the towns. Erving gets is through the town, so it's not through the school specifically. The school budget, I should say, does not pay for the insurance. The town does, so it's less of an impact on our school budget, but certainly the town budget is affected by that. Caitlin did give a budget report or a budget update and a overview of how the budgets were laid out, comparing and contrasting the regional schools versus the independent schools like Erving is. And our next meeting is March 16th at 7 p.m.
Also, the Union 28 budget passed at the meeting.
Oh, yes, that's right. We did vote on the Union 28 budget. Yep. We've been talking about it for so long. I felt like we'd already done that, but you're right. We officially voted it at that meeting. Was I missing anything that you, or Beth, or that you can think of that we didn't mention? Okay, I think that was everything. Okay, so moving on, we have.
I don't know whether to put it in there or not, but
Yes.
That Monday conflict that I had is probably going to continue for a few more months, and I may not be able to go to any of those meetings that are on Mondays.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I won't be an official representative
Okay.
for the
That's
council.
fine. Kelly and I will just make sure to coordinate that we
We will be there.
will be
Okay.
there for that.
And I'll
But-
let you know if that changes.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right. I do not have any old business on our agenda. Our new business. Does anybody have anything that I'm missing? Okay. Policy review. So we have a couple policies. So we want to. It's a little bit confusing. So let's try. We'll work it out. We have a vote to waive school committee policy BGB policy adoption for the purpose of adopting the policies in one vote. So typically we have successive votes. We take first read, second read, first votes, and so this is to kind of bypass all of that and approve it in one vote. And that. I'm just going to need a little more guidance from the
I
policy
thought
committee.
that was for the therapy dog guidelines and procedures.
Okay.
Particularly as I read this,
Okay.
that is what I remember.
Okay. That's how it's written. That's what it seems like to me too. I just wanted to make sure that I was reading it correctly as well. So the policy, therapy dog guidelines and procedures, we're looking to have that be voted in one vote, as opposed to the string of votes that we typically do.
So do we have to vote
So
to
we
waive BGB first?
Yes. And
So
then
I move that we waive policy adoption policy BGB for the purpose of tonight's discussion.
and for the
and
purposes
vote.
of voting on the therapy dog
Right.
guidelines and
Right.
procedures. Okay.
I second that.
Okay, but does everybody understand what we're doing? Because it is a little bit confusing. So for this one particular policy, we're looking to just override our typical process.
But this is not voting on that
No.
policy yet. That's just the waiver.
Just on the process. Okay. Okay. So we have a motion to do that. Is there a second?
Second. Well, no, I made the
You
motion.
mentioned I second.
Oh, I'm sorry. You seconded. Okay. I apologize.
That's okay.
You're right. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay. So all in favor of that motion for just that one particular part?
Aye.
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 I'm trying to make it more clear. I'm fearing that I'm making it more confusing.
No, sorry.
Okay, so we have now done that, so we can take the policy, therapy dog guidelines and procedures, and vote on it in one vote.
So I move that we accept the policy, therapy dog guidelines and procedures. I don't even know what code that is. Do we have a code
I don't
for
think
it?
we have one
have
yet.
one.
It will be a signed one. That makes sense.
I'd second the motion.
Okay. It'll get
Yes.
one. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion about that?
Do we want to reiterate the discussion of what is changing in there?
It was pretty small. So
It was very small, and
Okay.
just for the million people watching, all that it is editing is the wording on two of them, because in our policy it states that they have to be like potty trained and this, that, and like certain like rules that they have to follow and up to date on all shots. But then we realized that like if we bring in a 6-month-old dog, it's not going to have its 1-year shots. So we made it inclusive to include up to date on shots up to their years, up to their correct ages. That and like a couple of the other like age restricted things. That's all that we had edited in that policy.
Okay. And that makes sense. All right. Any other discussion? Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Okay. Now, we will now revert back to our normal procedure. And we have first read on several policies. So we have first read on AC, non-discrimination policy, including harassment and retaliation.
That's the only
That's the
first
only
one.
one.
Yes,
Yep.
yep. So moved.
Second.
Yeah, I mean, it's a first read, so we don't have to
Oh,
vote.
okay.
Oh,
we
so
have
there's no vote on that.
yeah, correct. And so the first vote, because it's our second read, on policy GBED, tobacco use on school property by staff members prohibited, GBGF, family and medical leaves, JICFA, prohibition, thank you, of hazing. I really should just put the glasses on. JIFB, bullying prevention, and JICFA-E, hazing. So these are our second read, first vote on those policies. We can take them individually, we can take them together.
I suggest we take them as a group.
Does anybody have anything else? Okay. All right, so we'll take them together. So I need a motion in a second.
I move we accept all the second reads of JG. Do I need to say
No.
them all? Okay,
Okay,
then I move we accept
yeah.
all of them on first read.
Second.
I won't make you do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion in a second. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
These will come back to us again next month. All right, so we do have an executive session option here. I do not believe that we have minutes that we need to approve, so I am going to, I'm not aware that we need an executive session. Beth, are you aware of anything that I'm not aware of that would necessitate an executive session? You say no.
No.
Okay. All right. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss something. Okay, so our future business is our next school committee meeting. Again, this is because of February vacation. This date is different. We will have a policy committee meeting on February 24th at 6:30, and our school committee meeting will be February 24th at 7 p.m. Again, different date because of school vacation. We will also have we just agreed to a school committee meeting on February 9th. Again, not our normal date, to approve the budget before our joint meeting with the select board and the finance committee, and that will be at 6:30. And unless anybody else has anything else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would like to mention
Yes.
something that I forgot to mention a month ago.
Absolutely.
The library director and I went to an active shooter seminar. And I believe the principal had attended a similar thing previously. Yes?
Yes, I did last spring.
Yes, and I just want the thousands of people watching, and seriously, mothers, fathers, family, to know that the students here are your children, period. We help policy to teach them things. But when they're here, people think of them as their kids too, for the purpose of protecting them. So there are bad things going on all around the world, but we're doing everything we can as a school committee, as individuals, as staff, to make sure your kids are safe. And I just think it's important to say it so people know that we're doing whatever we can, all of us, to keep your kids safe. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well said. And I know that every staff member would agree with that statement. Wonderful. All right. Anything else?
A motion to adjourn.
Yes.
I move that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
All right.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. Thank you.